Hey everybody, I'm gonna just get right into it. I'm gonna be answering discussion one, the first set of questions that were asked for number one, as it was titled for discussion two in module six. I'm going to be answering, as I said, for the words, the compilation of words that were used to describe African American men at various diversity training conferences nationally. So I have the image on my computer screen, and I'm going to be looking over at that frequently for the first question, which asks, where do you think these descriptions come from? And so for me, I think they definitely come from our surrounding environment, and definitely from very strong stereotypes that people might have and may say, either saying it around you, or you maybe even these people, whoever took this survey that got these results, they may feel that those words fit for the stereotype of a young black male. As it was captioned at the top of the image, it says that when Americans think of young black males, what words or phrases come to mind? Now, that's what the image is actually showing for. It's not showing for these questions being asked in Moodle, but they are very useful for my response, because I think these words definitely come from when we grow up, and like the trees. For example, the tree cork theory that we had a while back, a few weeks back, and that was talking about how if each human, just like a tree cork, metaphorically speaking, not really in reality, if we tree cork a person with looking at each layer of their life, maybe each year of their life, and how their environment was different from the previous years, then yeah, it shows that these words could show up through different parts of that tree cork for the person. So it's something that shows up. It comes from life, early on in life, and I also think it comes from implicit and explicit biases, because depending on what your bias is, you could be very against these kinds of words, so you don't use as many of these words to describe young black males. But basketball, for example, where athletic would be used, and that could be a microaggression, as we were talking about, where it's like it's not always intended to be, an insult, but it could be seen as an insult, or it's like presumed that that because they're a certain color, that's how they're going to be. So I think it comes from stereotypes, society, and our own biases, whether it be implicit or explicit. The next question asks about who do you think wearing this as a badge feels to AA men, which I assume is African American men. And I don't really get these two next questions, but I'm going to try to answer them to what I feel that it's asking. Because with the next question, it asks, if you had to wear this as your badge or banner every day, how might you feel emotionally, physically, and mentally? So I think that it's asking for people that might be labeling, like putting out these labels, how might because I don't really get the second question, because it says, who do you think? I would think it would be, how do you think wearing this as a badge no, I guess it makes sense. So who do you feel things or no sorry who do you think wearing this as a badge feels to? It's like, I just don't get, like, I guess it's like asking how they would feel as a wearing this as a badge. I guess I'm really just not sure about this section. I think they would just, honestly, I feel like it would probably be that they'd feel bad, or they're just not conscious or fully aware that they're putting these labels on people, if that is being asked here. Or if it's a person who already has this label put on them, how do they feel about African other African American men being labeled this, I feel like it's probably that they feel it's stereotypical in some manner, or that, it's like, it's so in the third question, asking if I had to wear this as my badge or banner every day, how might I feel? So I might feel that if I knew that, I guess the banner could be that I'm the person perceiving all these words every day of my life, I guess. Um, I would feel probably that in some ways that these are true, or that this is how my life has to be, that it's like, for example, earlier on in life, I was always told, you can always do it, just try, you can always do it, you can make it, you can always make it, right? So, being told that, I just kind of grasped that knowledge. But if somebody told me every single day that I'm aggressive, I'm a criminal, I'm dangerous, I'm lazy, I'm angry, but I'm also athletic, I could do basketball, or you know, scary or loud or whatever, some of those might come up, and then they might be thinking that it's true. So that's emotionally, maybe. Physically, I think it could change how a person sees themselves. They could maybe get more depressed based off this, and that could be a mental thing. They can mentally just mess with society, I think. And yeah, I really just think that the words themselves, either way, whether it's the person saying it or the person receiving the damage, both ways could be it could be felt pretty harshly, I guess. If you're trying to be put into those shoes, of course you can't understand directly what they're feeling unless you have those actions brought against yourself too. But I hope that did answer it. But I really don't know what these last two were talking about with the badge, so hopefully we can talk about that more in class, or if you guys figure it out in your own responses, then hopefully that'll fill me in too. But thank you. That was my discussion 2 response for module 6, and this is for the first group. That was the first group of questions that was talking about the first slide image. So hopefully that did answer a bit of it, but yeah, peace out.